What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with a little bit of news about No Man's Sky and possibly some bad news in general for Hello Games. And there's a couple of things I'm going to cover here. Some of this might be old news to some of you guys, but it's just been difficult for me to find time to make videos, so I'm going to combine these into the same video. The first little bit of news that came out was that No Man's Sky has dropped below 1,000 hourly users on Steam. Now, when the game first launched at its peak, it was well over 200,000 users per hour playing the game on Steam. So if you think about it, the game just launched, a month ago, and it's already lost well over 90% of its player base on the PC, which is pretty crazy. That's absolutely insane. So less than 1,000 people, right around 1,000 they said, are now playing the game per hour on Steam. It's a huge drop-off, and I would have to imagine that on the console, the population trend is probably a little similar. I'm not sure which platform sold more copies. I know the game sold a ton of copies, but I would imagine most people on the console with a lot more competition in other games that are out there drawing people's attention right now, newer launches that are coming out, I seriously doubt the game is surviving very well on console either. So that's bad news for Hello Games, and it comes on the heels of another announcement that No Man's Sky is actually under investigation in the UK. There's a British agency, the Advertising Standard Authority, that is actually investigating whether Hello Games and Sean Murray misled customers with their advertising, the screenshots, the descriptions of what you can do in No Man's Sky. And that's pretty crazy because, I mean, this is an indie developer that they're kind of going after. Now, I don't think anything they can actually do is going to can legally hurt Hello Games that much. I mean, but it's a black eye either way you look at it. This is not something you want to have happen, especially if you're an indie developer that's just kind of making your first large foray into the video game world. And it looks bad no matter how you try to spin it. It's kind of funny. There's just a few No Man's Sky, I'll call them fanboys, that are still around trying to spin positives about this game. And, unfortunately, some people decided to make their entire channel around this game. And for the last 2 or 3 years, they've been hyping it and doing a lot of, just a lot of stuff about the game and thinking it was going to be this massive, huge thing that was going to last for a while. And now they're very worried, I'm sure, after building up such a huge subscriber base to the launch of No Man's Sky and then seeing the game completely flop. And, I just gave you the numbers on PC about how many people have gone away from the game already. Those people are grasping at straws for anything they can to try to save some semblance of the game for their channel, but it's just not going to happen. Now, this Advertising Standards Authority can impose sanctions, but like I said, I really don't think it's going to do anything for Hello Games. And honestly, I don't think Hello Games really cares. Because if you think about this game came out and it sold like a AAA title. I mean, tons of people bought this game. And I was reading an article the other day where they said, they didn't have the hard physical numbers, but the game is estimated to probably have outsold the newest Madden, which is pretty crazy, for an indie developer. And so they've only got 13 or 14 or however many people working at this studio. I don't know the details of the contract, what they have to share with Sony and whoever else, but Hello Games made bank on this. Sean Murray made bank on this. Having to only split it between a couple of guys versus some of your larger AAA studios when they have these bigger releases, that gets split between hundreds of people. Whereas with No Man's Sky, it's just a very small team that worked on the game. So these guys don't have to make games anymore. They pretty much have made their money if they're smart about how they invest it and hang on to it. They're all set for life. And I hope that type of greed doesn't actually exist at Hello Games, but it wouldn't surprise me, especially with the way they've been so bad about communicating when it comes to No Man's Sky. And they've honestly dug their own grave with this game. I've said from the get-go they've been terrible with how they decided to communicate. They don't really communicate that well. Their Twitter feed has actually been deathly silent since August 18th, I believe. So they've been going well over a month without any communication with the community, without any communication with the players. And I know they said they're working on stuff and patching the game and putting things in the game, but there's just so much that was missing that was initially shown to us, in the trailers. And, and I know a lot of people overhyped the game. I knew that was going to happen. I was very disappointed myself because I thought this game was just going to be so innovative, and then it turns out it's just a survival simulator, which honestly didn't really do a good job of the survival aspects. I always kind of laud the Solus project for being a much better survival game than No Man's Sky. And, you know, No Man's Sky was kind of fun for a few hours, but I've honestly quit playing it. I haven't touched it in weeks. And, you know, I was actually going to try to get some gameplay footage of it for this video, but I moved my PlayStation 4 to the television downstairs recently, and I really didn't feel like going through the hassle of trying to hook up my laptop with the Elgato and, you know, make all that effort for a game that, quite honestly, I don't even play anymore. So, like I said, very interesting stuff, and I think, honestly, this could possibly be the death of Hello Games as a developer, because given the publicity they've had over No Man's Sky recently, I just don't see how anyone would touch them with a 10-foot pole after this whole thing. You know, in the gaming world today, especially when there's a lot of disappointing games coming out seemingly every month now, people are getting sick of it. They're getting fed up. They're getting tired of it, and no one's really going to give you another chance at this point after you've had such a screw up on your first attempt. So, you know, even if Hello Games decided to make another game at this point, people would kind of be like, yeah, remember No Man's Sky. I don't think I'm going to give them my money this time. So, really not good news at all if you're Hello Games. I don't know what they can do at this point to even fix it with their community and, you know, fix the general perception of their studio now, especially with all the radio silence. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this. Would you give Hello Games another chance? Are you still playing No Man's Sky? Are you hoping they'll patch some cool stuff into the game? Or have you, like me, kind of just completely given up on it already and moved on to other things? As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again next time.